everybody. This is Jim, better known as Sandman Mystery. Well, here it says comics, but it's actually mystery media. Comics I'm done with, and I'm filming this Saturday morning. I just got back from the library, my local library here in Hemet, the big one, because we have two libraries, one way down on the east side of town and one right here in what's called Old Town. And the one here in Old Town is massive. And this is the second big book sale they've had in 3 months. So, I guess they're going to do them one a quarter until they get rid of all the books. And as you can see, I have plenty of books. Sorry about that. I had to go check on something with the kitties. But as you can see, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 huge stacks of media. Books, a graphic novel, Blu-rays, and DVDs, okay, at this sale. Now, how they do this at my local library is you fill a bag, and every bag is $3. You have to pay in advance. I didn't know how much I was getting, so I figured, last time I bought 3 bags, which was $9. It's $3 a bag, and I only filled 2. This time I thought, they told me they're going to have a lot of sci-fi and fantasy, so I bought 4 bags. And as you can see, I actually filled... Sparta, you can't help me. Here, but you can look cute in the video. Say hi, everybody. I'm a book kitty. There it goes. All right. But I actually bought 6 bags worth of stuff. So I stuffed those bags. They were ripping on the way home. I mean, they are cheap, flimsy bags, as you can see. I mean, you can literally see through them, See, you can see through them. So, yeah, they were starting to get big holes in them because I was stuffing them. So I got what should have been $18 worth of books for $12, but that's an incredible deal. And yeah, now I've got kitties who want to climb my books. That's one of the Egyptian cats. They were the first brothers, him and his brother, that we rescued recently. Sparta was the last guy we rescued here. Okay. And then Chunko, the orange and white one, and the cute little calico Lily, their brother and sister as well. They were in the middle. Yep, and yeah, the cats want to be part of the video. So, we're going to get on to the haul. I'm going to show you all the good stuff. And I actually bought more than sci-fi fantasy. I got a few westerns in here. I got one horror. I got some mythology. I got a book on angels, believe it or not. I got some classics. And I even got some history in here. So really neat stuff. Okay. First off, we're going to start on the graphic novel and superhero stuff. Now, these kids' books in decent condition, not writ on or anything, believe it or not, they're highly collectible. So I picked them up because these were the only 2 kids' books that were not written on, that were superhero and in good shape. Superman, Toy Trouble, and then Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, A Fishy Adventure. Okay. And then Bill Willingham's Fables, Werewolves in the Heartland. So I'm actually looking forward to reading this since it's collected like the werewolf stuff. Great art, too. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun read. Now, on to the Blu-rays, DVDs. The greatest Japanese animator of all time, Hayao Miyazaki, Studio Ghibli. They're the Walt Disney of Japan. Princess Mononoke on Blu-ray. They tried to sell it in their Friends of the Library bookstore for $1. No one grabbed it, so it was in the big sale today, which was in the big room at the library. So I grabbed it. And then a 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray of Ready Player One. Can't go wrong with that. One of my favoriteest books and movies of all time, Big Fish. And I didn't have this in my collection, but I had to have it. Napoleon Dynamite. I mean, that's just fun. That's just fun. Okay? Fun stuff. Now, as for the classics, can't go wrong with Dashiell Hammett, the Thin Man. I mean, come on. He wrote the Maltese Falcon, the Glass Key, the Big Knockover. I mean, he invented, you know, the modern realistic suspense crime novel. He's a classic. So I'm happy to have this in my collection. They tried to sell it for $0.25 in the bookstore. No one wanted it. How could you not want the classics? And then Dostoevsky, Notes from the Underground, White Nights, The Dream of a Ridiculous Man, and selections from House of the Dead. Normally, I wouldn't grab something, you know, like this, because I read all this kind of stuff when I was growing up, you know, in my 18, 19, 20, early 2021. But needed to fill the bag, and why not? And this looks interesting. World's classic, The Railway Children by E. Nesbitt. And then, come on, Jack London, White Fang. Of course. All right. Then, a whole book, short but scholarly history of the Crusades from the 12th and 13th centuries. This is going to be quite interesting. Really interesting. I can't wait to read that. And then The Making of the Middle Ages. All right. Now, before I get into mythology and other stuff over there, I'll grab some of this stuff. Did grab some Westerns. Two are Louis L'Amour. Before we get to that, this one's called Valiant Bugles, Civil War novel from the 60s by Gordon D. Sheriffs. I'll look forward to reading that. And then, of course, Louis L'Amour. You got The Sackett Brand and Dutchman's Flat. And who doesn't like a good Western, you know? Men are men. Stephen King, Salem's Lot. Normally, I wouldn't have grabbed this. I'm not sure if my wife has this yet or not. But if she doesn't, then she's got a Stephen King. She loves Stephen King, by the way. Because of his stupid outbursts on people who were assassinated and other wackadoo views, he's one of the people I boycott. Okay, just like I boycott Netflix and Disney. But Salem's Lot, I love the original miniseries with David Soul from Starsky and Hutch. Incredible, even though it does deviate from the book. I don't know if I bought this for my wife or not, so I'm glad to have this here. And I'll let her know if she already has it, then I guess I'll keep this for myself. read it, see what the differences are, and then donate back to the library. All right. Now, these 4 were not in the sci-fi section. They had a huge section of sci-fi and fantasy, and we'll get to that. These are science fiction, but they were in just the regular fiction table, and it's volumes 1 through 4 of A.C. Crispin's Starbridge. I've never read these. I don't know how good it's going to be. Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, and Volume 4. But, hey, getting these books so cheap, why not? What's it going to hurt to read them? You know, it isn't going to hurt at all. And then Dean Koontz's Frankenstein, Book 2, The City of Night. I knew Dean Koontz did his own version of Frankenstein. In fact, I think that modern movie they made in the 2000s was based off of Dean Koontz's books. I liked the movie. I thought it was interesting. I know a lot of people didn't. And I saw the comic books. They made a comic book out of Dean Koontz's Frankenstein. So this should be interesting to read. All right. Now, let's get on to this stuff. All right. These are all hardbacks, by the way. Right here, Anne McCaffrey, Dragon Riders of Pern, The Sky Dragons, written by her son, Todd McCaffrey, because she passed away. I love the Dragon Riders of Pern saga. I got so much of them, so much. So this is one I didn't. So, yep, happy to have it. Gonna read it, gonna love it. And then another fantasy writer that I really love, because, I mean, he knows the character, Drizzt Do'Urden. Come on, everybody knows him. R.A. Salvatore. Couldn't pass up the Legacy. It's going to be awesome. I have the collected volumes down there on my bookshelf, but it's nice to just read a single of this series. So it's going to be pretty good. And I do have Icewind Dale. I don't think I have the Dark Elf trilogy. I've got to grab those, try to find them. All right. This looks interesting. Magic and Malice. The whole theme of it is, imagine a Regency England where magic is studied at the Royal College of Wizards. It's this England that is home to Kim, a London street thief who passes as a boy to survive. So it's a girl passing as a boy, but we'll see. It could be interesting. I'm interested in seeing it. And look, so is Sparta. Huh. You want to check out the book, Sparta? He's like, no. So it does not have the Sparta seal of approval, but I'm going to read it anyway. Okay. Now this one, if I can get through the, come on, brain, work. If I can get through the Kolchak the Night Stalker books quick enough, because it looks like I am. I already started the Kolchak Mothman one, and that's only 120 pages. I can finish that in a day, just like I finished the other one. And then I'm going to read the Kolchak the Night Stalker and the Lost World. That looks interesting. Kolchak and Dinosaurs, come on. But once I finish those, Raising Hell in the Night Side. This is definitely an occult investigator type book. In the secret heart of London, where monsters and humans walk side by side, private investigator John Taylor feels at home. He is, after all, the byproduct of one human and non-human rubbing more than just elbows. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to reading this. It's going to be interesting. And, so, yeah. And this, I love the concept of this, okay? It's by some guy named Robert Holdstock. I don't know I don't know about the new writers. He won the World Fantasy Award for Best Novel. This is called Lavandis, Journey to an Unknown Region. And it says it's a vision quest walkabout through time and archetype. So it should be interesting. And yeah, through time and archetype. That's interesting. That kind of goes along with the quantum theory, multiversal theory, all that weird stuff. So I'm definitely interested in that. And then Wolf Speaker. This just looks really interesting. Gonna check it out. Can't wait to read this. And this is a book called Beast, which is a fantasy story very similar to Beauty and the Beast. So we'll see how interesting this is going to be. All right, and as you can see, there's still more big booky books. The year's best science fiction. This is a thickie. I don't know what year this is from. It's the 14th annual collection. This came out in 1997. So whatever the best science fiction was for 1997, it's in this. And then these I was really happy to get. I remember reading this series. This is not the complete series. This is 4 books out of the 7 that are in the series. Written by Margaret Weiss and Tracy Hickman. We all know them. They did the Dragonlance saga. And this is quite an interesting series. I only read the first book in this series. Now I need to hunt down book 1, 5, and 6, because here I've got 2, 3, 4, and 7. Okay. It is the Deathgate cycle. All right. So that's going to be a very fun and interesting read. And then we've got When Darkness Falls, Mercedes Lackey and James Mallory. A couple of sci-fi and fantasy classics here. First up, William Gibson Neuromancer. This is the 26th printing. Okay. But it's still very cool. I wish the movie with Keanu Reeves that this is based on could have been as good. You know. But it wasn't. Johnny Mnemonic, by the way. Yeah. All right. So there's Neuromancer, classic of the cyberpunk genre. And then this is probably my favoritist, other than Elric. This is my favoritist, goodest, all the wrong English adjectives and expletives you can think of fantasy series ever. Ursula K. Le Guin's Wizard of Earthsea. This is the first in a 3 or 4 book. It was originally a trilogy, and then many, many years later, she did a follow-up book. So I'm just happy to have the first book, and I hope to hunt down the rest, you know, which you can eventually. A collection of fantasy stories. I don't know if I'm going to like this. It's 4 different short stories in here. But we'll see. We'll see how I feel about it. Marion Zimmerman Bradley, Exile's Song. And then some Piers Anthony. I always loved the Xanth novels. They're fun and zany. So I got 2 of them here. Centaur Castle and The Color of Her Panties. I don't know. I don't know. Okay. Dudes and Dudettes, I don't know. And then I love this series, but only the first 2 books because the other characters I really didn't care about. It's book 1 of the Incarnations of Immortality. This is kind of an upgrade to the copy I have, On a Pale Horse, about how one guy who is going to commit suicide accidentally kills the personification of death, has to take over being death. The second book is about Father Time. This is all about death. Really good stuff. Okay. Fun. Now, on to some interesting stuff. They had these 4 books, the Paranormal Seekers Press, Tracking Bigfoot. It's not the whole series, by the way. Tracking the Atlantis, the Bermuda Triangle, and Ghosts and Hauntings. So I've got half the series. There are 8 books in this series. And then anybody who knows me knows I'm really into mythology all over the world. So when I saw American Indian Myths and Legends, I had to put it in the bag, man. Had to put it in the bag. Next up, Secrets of Ancient and Sacred Places. I thought that was interesting. And it's got over 150 maps, drawings, color illustrations, 20 sites drawn from UNESCO's World Heritage List. It's going to be interesting. Going to be an interesting read, man. And then here's just a little tiny paperback, Heroes and Monsters of Greek Myth. I already have all this stuff in Edith Hamilton's mythology. I mean, we all had to read that I had to read it in elementary school, you know. But I'm not going to let a good book go to waste. Here's another. This is volume 3, Q through Z. So there's 2 volumes before this, but they had this. This is the Greenwood Encyclopedia of Folk Tales and Fairy Tales. My wife may end up taking this. I don't know. Because she's big into the folk tales. And it covers so much good stuff, man. And then last book that I got today, this is the last, we're at the end of the video, is a Dictionary of Angels, including the fallen angels. So, quite interesting. You got Michael, Gabriel, Camiel, Raphael, Sachiel, Anael, Caphael. Quite interesting stuff in here, I tell you. I'll have to check it out. Boom. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is my awesome book haul. And that's Lily. It's the little girl Lily right here. She's a very pretty calico girl, and she's a sweetheart. She's a very sweet little girl, huh? Give me belly rubs. Yeah, I get her belly rub, see? I get the belly rub, and she purrs. All right. Hope you enjoyed it. If there's any books you've read that you think are really interesting in here and you liked, let me know in the comments. If there's something you read that I've shown that you didn't like, let me know down in the comments why. And don't just say, oh, that sucked. That sucked because... And I think that's a good idea. you know? All right. Well, on that note, by the time this video drops, it's going to be Monday. Okay. So I hope you enjoy it. God bless you. Keep you safe. I love you all. And I will see you on the next video. Y'all enjoy your day.